Ladies, hey, congratulations for Golden Arm.
Thank you so much.
You folks must be getting a lot of reference to the Sylvester Stallone movie Over the Top, aren't you?
You know what's funny is we get it. We've gotten a couple, but in this, press, this is the first time we've met, someone's mentioned it, but we love Over the Top and we love Sylvester Stallone. So that's never a bad thing in my opinion.
Well, that is terrific because I haven't seen a good arm wrestling movie in quite some time. So, so tell us where the original idea came from for Golden Arm.
So the original idea came out of a charity that I started or I co-founded in DC with some friends called the DC Lady Arm Wrestlers, and we arm wrestled for charity. And we would meet as quarterly to have these big bouts, and we'd recruit women around the area, teachers, moms, lawyers, lobbyists, because I'm in DC. So a lot of buttoned up ladies, and they'd come, to the rehearsal in their Lululemon, but at night they would be dressed up in their alter ego and ready to throw down. And it was this, I was really inspired by this change, but just no matter what walk of life these women were, they were up for it. They came, they had their hair did, they were ready to go. And so I was doing this charity for a couple of years, and Jenna and I had been writing other female comedies together as screenwriting partners. When I was like just telling her about all this craziness, and she was like, Amory, we have to write she wrote an article, and I'll let you talk about that experience, Jenna, and how you kind of turned it on its head.
Well, I was working as a journalist before I became a screenwriter. And I thought Amory was doing this charity and it was so fun and she was having such a great time. And I wrote an article for Huffington Post about the charity, and the pictures were just fantastic and amazing. And I thought it just struck me as something that would be a great movie. And I thought we should write a movie. We're writing movies. We should write a movie about this. And so we started developing a feature idea, which was a little different. We didn't manage to use the charity in the story, but we decided to go with this underdog idea of a woman who has to make a change and find her inner strength, which was based on the inspiring tales that Amory was seeing with the women she was wrestling with. And it just became this great big comedy that then we decided to produce ourselves. And here we are, it's about to come out.
That's pretty awesome.
Easy, right?
Yeah. Right.
And 8 years later, here we are.
Well, these movie productions are no easy feat, but it's better to be finished than to never have it, right?
Neither one of us did.
So the rules of in the movie and the rules of arm wrestling, is it similar, or did you guys have to make it up?
No, it's very similar. It's funny because even with the charity, because it was so competitive, we would actually train the women on the proper form of how to arm wrestle and when to. We also had refs that would monitor the bouts and make sure that they were in the proper form and or it wasn't going too long, because we actually, in real life, you could have an arm break, and we had an arm break at one of our bouts, which was really terrible. So we did not want that to happen on set by any means, but also within the story, we tried to follow those, guidelines and make sure we had, the ref, the form, and learning about the sport, because it truly is a very big sport. And if you go online and look up, professional arm wrestling leagues, you'll see that these badass ladies are out there doing this all the time. And as a matter of fact, Dot Marie Jones, who plays Big Sexy in the movie, is an actual national ladies arm wrestling champion many times over. So she was amazing to have on set to not only help with the arm wrestling, but she's just also an amazing human as well.
Did Dot Maria give any consultations on set for you?
She did. I mean, I think she was pretty impressed with my knowledge and our knowledge, Jen and I, that we went in and researched about the sport and made sure that it felt grounded, which was great. I think she just brought a certain gravitas to it, and the stories that she would tell. I mean, there's even a scene that Maureen just picked up of her talking about her winning and how she broke this woman's arm, and that's all true. So she brought so much to the scene, to every scene that she was in.
So tell us about developing the characters of Melanie and Danny, because obviously you two have written comedies before, and I notice it's more like romantic comedies, but there's a little bit of romance in this movie, but it's much more comedy.
We just tried to go with a classic buddy comedy. I mean, there were so many male buddy comedies like Lethal Weapon and Wedding Crashers and, great movies like that for men, but there aren't too many for women. And we already also like that genre and thought that would be so fun to put in a sports comedy. So we sort of started there with, opposites. Melanie is mild-mannered and Danny, her best friend, is just super outrageous and is going to be pushing her to change throughout the film. So that is where we started. And it's always fun to play an odd couple off each other as you go, as you go through the journey. It just creates a lot of comedy. So that is how we structured those two characters. And then the actors, the comedians that we found to play those two ladies just fit perfectly into those roles and could improv. We had so much improving. It was, we like to say we were the poor man's Judd Apatow. They just, cameras kept rolling. They kept going over the scenes and found so many different versions of ways to say the same lines and created so much good stuff that it was hard to choose at the end of the day what to put in the movie. So we were very lucky.
Wow. As writers yourself, how do you feel about having like comedians that love to improv? Because, some writers love that and some writers, love their script babies, you know what I mean?
And it was an interesting kind of like a fine line because we were also producers on the film. So, Golden Arm LLC is our company and like you're on set and like time's ticking and every minute costs X and all that kind of stuff. But honestly, I think we were just so lucky because these women just like enveloped the characters, and we would do a process where Maureen would actually run through the scene as written, and then they would, if they had time, they would start to, try to new things and come into it in a different way and or just different jokes. And I'm the first one because, after you've been writing for a long time, you can't be precious about your jokes all the time. You have, because situations change in the script. That means the joke's going to change as well. So we just got to sort of sit back and laugh, and my cheeks would just be like on fire from trying to like not laugh during a take. But Kate Flannery actually came up to us at one point when she was on set, and she talked about the same thing. She's like, "Is it hard for you to do that?" And I was like, "Well, you guys are consummate professionals. I mean, this is like a dream come true to hear you guys go even further with these characters that we've written." And she said something like, "Well, don't forget, you built the house that we get to play in every day." And I thought that was a really like kind and genuine thing to say to a writer. So I just kind of hang on to that. And it just feels like a fun time.
Wow. That is some insightful words from Kate there.
Yeah, she's amazing. Well, she's probably been doing that for years and years and years. And it was really sweet of her to say that, since this was my first time on a set for a feature that Jenna and I had written together.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one of the things I really love is the fact that you have a lot of side characters, these costume characters that you actually brought in during the tournament. How many characters did you try to create for yourselves in your head? And what Halloween store did you raid it?
Well, goodness. Jenna, what do you think?
I thought it was so fun to create these side characters. We really just tried to be inspired by all the ladies that worked with Anne-Marie and her charity and show how different the personas could be. And Anne-Marie, you should talk about the character you played, Cleo Smack You Down.
Well, we had a fantastic costume designer who did raid a lot of costume shops and thrift shops and everything to just create the color. I mean, there were sometimes people that just wore a crazy costume, but were just an extra. But at one point, I make a very small cameo wrestling Melanie, and they just had a Cleopatra outfit. And they said, well, what's your name? And I said, well, how about Clea Smackya? Because, it's just it's like the fight puns, the arm wrestling puns. There's, you just kind of get, there's no shortage of those in your brain once you start kind of just thinking. So it's not incredibly clever, but it's like, there's just so many things you can do with it.
Jenna, you didn't make a cameo yourself?
I do actually. I'm one of Big Sexy's posse. If you look in her bar scene, I'm gonna beat somebody up if they get in her way. So you'll find me there.
But no arm wrestling for you?
No arm wrestling, but I am in the ladies' bikini bar. I did my hair that day, so it was a very special moment. I think I smashed a beer can on my forehead, which is not the first time I've ever done that. So there's a lot of skills that I have.
Well, then that's terrific. That's a rare skill for a lot of women to have.
It's fun.
The title Golden Arm itself, what is Golden Arm concept? Is that a made up concept for the movie, or is that an actual concept in the wrestling world?
It's kind of a funny story. I think we were stuck one day writing, and my husband, who is a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, rolls in one day and is like, "You guys are stuck, and this is what should happen. She should go into this wrestling bout, and she should have this like gift, like she should have this golden arm, like she should have this like innate ability that is a thing." And I told that to Anne-Marie, and she was like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard." And I was like, "I know, it's terrible." And then we just kept talking about it. And then we thought, when two characters argue about something, it really is a good moment of conflict, because then you can have those two characters arguing about the point in the script. So we thought, maybe we should put this in the script and see if then it can be something we disprove throughout the movie. Have you seen the movie?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I have to say, well, you might not want to tell everyone if she becomes the golden arm, but it is a question that the audience needs to find out.
Well, it's funny because I think this scene may not have made it into the movie, but Melanie does push back on Danny, like, golden arm, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. She's like, what has this golden arm is C-3PO, not me, and they kind of riff off of that. But what's really weird, if you recall, is that weird Quibi thing came out with Rachel Brosnahan, I believe, which was called Golden Arm, literally a year ago or so, or 6 months ago. And everybody kept going, "Is this your movie? Is this your movie?" I was like, "No, what is this?" And I think we're all still trying to figure that out. But it's in the zeitgeist.
It's worse.
Yeah.
That is excellent. Well, let me leave with one more thought, because I did see the movie and I actually enjoyed it. I watched it twice, so it's very humorous, and I think it's actually well done. Does it leave open to a sequel? And I also want to remind viewers that there is an after the credits scene that you seemingly, surprisingly put into this film.
Yeah, we could only hope. We Jenna and I have an outline for a sequel already. We would love it if that's what was to develop after we get a chance to release the film and see how people respond to it. We've been waiting a year to get it shown to a large audience because we were a South by Southwest contender, but that went down due to COVID. So we've just been kind of anxiously waiting to see how people are going to respond. And so it means the world to us that you enjoyed the movie, that you got to laugh during a time that, where laughter is the best medicine. So thanks so much.
Excellent. Well, hey, ladies, thank you very much for speaking to me about Golden Arm, and real fast, who has the golden arm between you two?
Anne-Marie.
I literally, and the only reason why I say this is because I am a champ. I am a golden arm winner of the DC Ladies Arm Wrestling. It was the best night of my life. I relive it nightly. I dress up as my alter ego, Scarlett O'Scara, and I I put the golden arm medallion around my neck. It means a lot to me.
Wow. I'm impressed. One wins the arm wrestling tournament and the other one could crush beer cans.
That's right.
And-
Two for the price of one, a twofer.
Duo you won a round.
That's right. Well, excellent. Hey, thank you very much. Next time.
Thank you so much for having us.
Appreciate it. Bye now.
Bye.